matters involving security as far as the coronavirus. And I think we finished up our executive session, and we won't have to go in there, go to executive session after this meeting. We learned one thing: there are no reported cases of the coronavirus in Greenwood County at this time. Ms. Childs, we're waiting on Ms. Childs. Thank you for waiting on me. Hey, young folks. Welcome to our meeting. I hope we didn't keep you from something important. It is past 5:30 and it's time for me to call the meeting of Greenwood County Council, the regular meeting of Tuesday, March the 17th to order. For the purpose of you young people, I'm about to make a statement, and the reason I make this statement is because of a law called the Freedom of Information Law. And we have to make sure that our meetings are publicized and that we put notices in public places. And we have to make a statement for the record at every meeting. So I made this statement so much I memorized it. So this is the statement. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, the date, the time, the location, and the agenda of this meeting has been posted on the front entrance of the Greenwood County Courthouse and also on the front entrance of the Greenwood County Library. A copy of that has been made available to the media, who is Mr. Hicks from the Index Journal, and also has been posted on the county's website. So that satisfies the law as far as freedom of information. At this time, I'm going to ask you to stand with me, and we're going to have our invocation, and then we're going to have our Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pray. Dear God, though our circumstances seem to be unfair from time to time in this life, we always remember the words of the psalmist who wrote, I lie down and sleep, I wake again because the Lord sustains me. With a sincere belief that our lives are in your hands, we ask that you let your peace rain down on us today individually and collectively. In your name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, as we move through this meeting, if we're doing something and you don't understand what we're doing, you just raise your hand and we'll stop and explain to you what we're doing, because we want you to fully understand what we're doing, okay? Nobody over there will fuss at you to do that, all right? So if you don't understand something, let us know. And we up here,
What if you're an adult?
we have an
I was gonna say, I do it all the time.
we have an attorney and a county manager and a clerk of council that can explain it to you on our behalf. But we do welcome you to our meeting. We appreciate you being here. Council, you have been provided with a copy of the minutes for the March 3rd, 2020 regular meeting. If there are no changes to those minutes, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Lang, second by Ms. Spencer. All in favor? And those minutes stand approved. We have a presentation, and I think there are some changes to it, so I'm gonna let Mr. Templeton explain. But the Dam to Dam 100K relay race presentation to Byron Rogers Children's Home. Mr. Templeton.
Okay, yes, there have been some changes made. The guys from Lexington, Matt and Simon, who are gonna come and hopefully have a big check presentation tonight, although I know they've already given you guys the money, but they wanted to kind of bring this forward and bring some awareness. Because of all the coronavirus situation, they are not going to be here tonight. So, however, I do want y'all to have the opportunity to get your picture taken. I do want to be able to tell what they did, how much money they raised, how it benefited you guys, and he did send me a statement via email just a little while ago. So, if y'all will let me do that.
Go right ahead.
This started, I'll give you a little background. This started with F3 Lexington. F3 is a peer-led group of workouts, and the F3 stands for faith, fellowship, and fitness. And this year was the second year, and they really wanted to thank Greenwood County Council and Greenwood County Lake Management for allowing them to use the boat landing as the finishing place for the event. He says without that space, we would not be able to accommodate the number of participants they were able to draw. They had 76 teams with over 380 runners, partnered with local churches and businesses to provide food at the end. Through those partnerships with businesses from the two communities, Lexington and Greenwood, they were able to give back $20,000. That money was split amongst 10 churches and 2 organizations, one in Lexington, one in Greenwood. They were able to give $7,500 to the Bowers Rogers Children's Home right here in Greenwood, and because of to have a positive impact on our community. They could not stress enough, without the support of council and the lake management allowing them to use that location, they would not have been able to make this happen. They apologized profusely for not making it tonight, but felt like with spatial requirements and everything that's going on, really more so in their area, because the Richland County, Kershaw County area seem to be the toughest hit right now. So they felt it was better not to come. So and I'm sorry that we didn't get that word to you in a timely manner. I'll take the blame for that by not letting Susan know to get that out, because I thought he had coordinated all that. But all those folks who are here with Bowers Rogers, come on up front. Let the Index Journal take your picture, run a little story about what it is that you guys present. And they want to come at a later date and do the whole big check thing. But today, since you're here, let's go ahead and let you guys get a picture.
Tell us about the money. They said you've already received it. How much was the check? For?
I'm sorry?
I said, how much he said you'd receive the money?
Yes, sir, we
Tell us
did.
about the money.
So we received $7,500, and those
Right.
proceeds are going back into the Bowers Rogers Children's Home's coffers to support the children that we serve who are abused, abandoned, and neglected from around the state of South Carolina.
Thanks. Come on up front, take your picture.
Unfortunately, I can't have the kids in photographs.
Uh-oh.
For safety reasons.
I understand.
I understand that.
Got it?
So, but I do have my staff here, and I wanted to bring them because they're on the front lines of the child welfare system here in Greenwood. So
Sorry,
Come on up here.
we understand.
we will do a photo when we get back to the home, I promise.
We appreciate what you guys do.
Thank y'all.
And like I said, I'm glad that y'all were able to benefit from that this time. And I know that the F3 guys, Lexington and Greenwood, plan to band together to make this bigger and better for next year.
Absolutely.
Would you go down and?
Sure, As long as I don't have to stand beside that girl right there in the blue.
You mean that lady?
I'm gonna call her that girl. We have a history.
Okay. F3 members here?
Come on in with F3, man. Come on in. Go on the other side. Yeah, balance this out as an F3 representation. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you very much. I'll fist bump you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ty, can I ask a question?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Is it legal to know where the children are from?
Is it legal to know where the children are
Yeah,
from?
like what counties they come from?
Our children right now are from Greenwood, Lexington, Greenville.
The ones present here?
Yes. So we have about six counties represented.
Okay.
would you care to say anything else about the home or any?
Absolutely, if I may.
Sure, go ahead, stand with the
roll call.
microphone and.
So the Bowers Rogers Children's Home is in its 30th year of continual operation. We are a placement facility for abused, abandoned, and neglected children from around the state of South Carolina. Unfortunately, the plight of the child welfare system and children in the state of South Carolina is in peril. We have over 5,000 kids who are in the foster care system, and we last year alone took care of 90 different children all over the state. Our needs are great. And, for an opportunity to be a part of the Dam to Dam race, to be a recipient of those proceeds really means a lot. It's a tremendous honor to have been chosen because, one thing we try to preach to our kids is normalcy. They have to learn a new normal once they come into the system. Abusive homes, situations of neglect, abandonment, it runs a gamut. There's rampant alcoholism, drug abuse, and our kids suffer at the hands of that. So it's incumbent upon me and my staff to give them the best service that we can while they're in care. And while they're in care, it could be a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year, or more. So we try to meet those needs around the clock, around the calendar. So like I said, we were very, very honored and very pleased to have received those funds because it goes back to help these kids. And they're tremendous kids. They're tremendous kids with a lot of resolve. And we're thankful that they're a part of our program. And we're able to, I always say, put some tools in their toolbox. So when they leave the foster care system, they can go back to whatever communities they came from, those 6 individual counties that we talked about, that they're productive citizens going forward. So thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Hey, we love you guys. We're glad you're here.
Before you leave,
Yes, sir.
I want council to stand with me. I want everyone from Bowers Rogers, including the children, to stand. Once again, we're gonna give you a hand. That is my way of saying thank you for what you do.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. We recognize your contributions to this county, to other counties. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ty, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Do we have, is anything special going on with the kids at Bowers Rogers anytime soon? Field trip, anything like that?
No, sir. There's nothing special going on in terms of field trips or anything like that. But I always say the needs are great. However, if there's something that you want to do, if something council wants to do, that's another child, another staff coming in. Feel free. I mean, I would love to have you all come and tour our campus, come and see the facility, sit down with me, talk about some of the needs, some of the things that we can do to further the cause of child abuse and bring more awareness to this issue. I welcome it anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, call me.
Anything?
I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question?
I do not have a card on me. I do not.
May I ask a question?
But I can get you one. I promise. Yes, sir.
Of course, we have Connie Maxwell Children's Home right here in our community.
Yes.
How do you relate to the community, to Children's Home? What's different between Bowers Rogers and the Children's Home?
So Connie Maxwell is more of a sister organization with the Bowers Rogers Children's Home. They're a much larger organization than we are. A lot of their children are privately placed with them, and our children are referred to us by the Department of Social Services. So our children come to us either from being placed in emergency protective custody or they've been ex parte from the bench. So those are the ways that they come into our care. And we try to reunify our kids. We try to get them reconnected back with the families. We provide mental health counseling while they're in care with us. We also provide mental health assessment, medical assessments with the Montgomery Center. So we try to minister to the whole child. The similarities with Connie Maxwell and Bowers Rogers is in the fact that we're all trying to help children who have been suffering at the hands of abuse, abandonment, and neglect.
What's the youngest age of a child that's come through?
The youngest age, and like I said, we've been in operation for 30 years. And so we used to take infants. So we no longer take infants as a result of the Michelle H. lawsuit, which was a class action lawsuit filed on behalf of children in the foster care system who had alleged abuse in group homes. And so once they filed a class action lawsuit, the state of South Carolina decided to settle. And as a result, there were certain mandates that came down from the state level and the federal level, and one of which was no child should be in a group home under the age of 7 years old. And then an additional mandate came down and said no child should be in a group home under the age of 12 years old. And so at that point, they started to exhaust whatever avenues that they had to properly place the children. And as I said, we've got over 5,000 kids in the system and not nearly enough foster homes to place these children. So they have to come somewhere, and they have to come to organizations like ours. It's unfortunate that our organization exists, but it's good that it does. So, they consider the least restrictive, most family-like environment to be a foster home. And I've argued the point, I think our group home is family-like. We have 24-hour awake care, so there's somebody always there to meet the kids' needs around the clock and around the calendar. So we're in a state of flux in the state of South Carolina with the child welfare system. So there's a lot going on. I'm in meetings constantly at the state level in terms of all the changes that are going on and the mandates that are placed upon us that we must meet, especially coming up within the next 2 years. There's a Family First Prevention Services Act, which was a federal legislation that was enacted in February of 2018. And so the state of South Carolina said, you know what? We're not ready for this. Can you give us to 2021? So by 2021, the child welfare system in the state of South Carolina is going to look completely different than it has in the last 30 years. So, and like I said, those are some of the things I would love to sit down with you as a council, if you guys wanted to come and visit us and visit our kids and talk about some of the needs and some of the changes that are going to be occurring in the next year and a half.
How many children do you currently serve?
Right now we have 11 children in care, and we're licensed for 19.
So most of them are here.
Yes, all of them are here.
So I'm gonna try one more time.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you don't want to take them to the movies or do some kind of.
I'd love to take them to the movies.
Send me the bill.
Send you the bill?
Yeah.
You got it. Thank you, sir.
You will.
Can I fist bump you?
You can't.
Thank you, sir.
And please provide Susan with your contact information so that those on council who want to have it can have it, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you
We're
for having
sorry
us.
that the folks from down south didn't come,
That's okay.
but this has been great.
Thank you.
This has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming,
Appreciate it
guys.
so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Guys, we appreciate you coming. Sorry we held you up. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you can leave.
I think they want to go play.
Okay.
We're going to get into some exercise and run around and burn off some energy. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you all.
Oh, me, those are the real heroes.
Amen.
Woo. Kind of gets to you, doesn't it? So many people doing a lot of good things, and they get oftentimes overlooked. Council, I need a motion that we conduct a public hearing.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Templeton and Ms. Childs, did you? All in favor? And we are now in our public hearing. And that public hearing is on ordinance 2020-05, which amends the Greenwood County Code of Ordinances, section 6-1-6, to establish standards for permitting based on septic tank review. This is, after this public hearing, we will consider second reading. Do you need a refresher from Phil Lenore on this ordinance? Are you ready to conduct the hearing? Anyone here who is in favor of this ordinance? Come forward, sir. Mr. Stuckey.
Good afternoon, Chairman Brown, members of the council. I'm Craig Stuckey from 504 Lodge Drive. I'm also with Preserving Lake Greenwood. I'm very much in favor of this sort of action. I hope you will look at it favorably. Anybody that draws water out of Lake Greenwood, right now Greenwood County and to be Lawrence County, should be in favor of this. Anybody that uses the lake should be in favor of it. And this will give you something else to talk to Lawrence County about too when you get with them. I hope you will consider it favorably. At the same time, I'd like to thank Mr. Allison and Susan for coming out and helping us with the lake cleanup last Saturday. This was under the heading of Keep Greenwood County Beautiful. I would also, Toby, you were probably out there too. He just didn't come down for hot dogs. But see, Robbie mentioned the landing down there at Buzzard Roost, which is where I was. And I noticed we have what looks like cameras down there. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And your endorsement of this means a lot, you and your organization. We're trying to do some right things and.
Oh, this is great. I mean, we had the soil erosion into the lake here recently, and Lawrence County is going to consider that very shortly.
Oh, great.
And hopefully they will
Great.
both tail in on what we're doing here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Then hearing none, I will close the public hearing and ask council, what is your pleasure on second reading of this ordinance?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Moats. Who did I hear second?
Mark.
Mark, had second by Mr. Allison. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor? And that is unanimous on second reading. We will have third and final reading at our next meeting. Our next item of business is Resolution 2020-07, which accepts the donation from the Gaines family. Somebody say something?
No.
From the Gaines family of 1 acre of land located at the intersection of Rockhouse Road and Galilee Road, 105 Galilee Road, for the purpose of a volunteer fire station. You heard the explanation by Josh Skinner in our administrative meeting. We also heard some from some of the family who's donating this land. Looks like we found a good site, and we're certainly going to address the fire service needs in that area. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Allison.
Second.
Second by Mr. Moats. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Tell your family we really appreciate it. Very, very much. Thank you. I know Josh appreciates this. Resolution 2020-08, which designates April 2020 as Fair Housing Month. This is a requirement of our community development block grant program. What is your pleasure? Motion by Ms. Childs and second by Mr. Lane. Any discussion? All in favor? And the resolution is approved. We have Resolution 2020-09, amending Greenwood County Resolution 2019-19 and Greenwood County Ordinance 2019-9 in order to set the distribution of revenue pursuant to Greenwood County Ordinance 2005-36. Any further explanation needed? Are you ready to vote? Do I have a motion and a second?
So I move, Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Lane, second by Ms. Spencer. Any further discussion? All in favor? And that motion is approved. That is all of our business. District reports, Ms. Childs?
I'd just like to, send out a special thank you to our sheriff department as they came down and was available at the service of, the Will Parker young man, had his service down at, Jacob Chapel. And they were there, and we just appreciate them for being beautiful down there. And just reminding us that we need to, wash our hands. Wash our hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. And you know why? We know why. Normally we just go in and just wash when we need to, but now it's very important that you wash your hands at all times. And if you use the hand sanitizer, make sure that it's 60 to 62% alcohol.
Mr. Allison?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple things I would mention is, I want to thank everybody who did help with the cleanup of Lake Greenwood. We didn't do a lot at the lake because the water was up. Normally we walk the shorelines, and the water was up to a level to where there were not a lot of shorelines you could get to due to the high level of the water. So we went to some of the highways, and again, I will ring the bell one more time. It's just disheartening the amount of trash that is thrown out on the roads in our county. We've done some of 72, Highway 72 going towards the lake, and it's just absolutely disheartening as to how much trash people throw out. So again, in our budget this year, I want us to evaluate our litter programs as to what we're going to do in the future to curb this and see what we can do to correct this, because I believe we have a problem in the county with this. I know we have a problem in the county, and just want to see what our plans are and look at our budget and look at what we spent this last year and see what progress we've made. I would also like to give a shout out to Lonza, who gave us a tour of their operation last Thursday afternoon. Mr. Travis Dover, the CEO of that operation, was there. He and his folks, and we toured their new plant they're building in the back, and it was very impressive as to what that company is doing in our community. The technology and the growth that's going on that side is definitely a feather in the hat of Greenwood County. It was very impressive. So thanks to them for what they're doing in our county, and I enjoyed that tour and appreciate what they're doing for Greenwood County. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Spencer?
Well, I had a report till you reported it.
Oh, okay.
But all is well.
Mr. Moats?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Of course, on everyone's mind is the current crisis in our country about the COVID-19 virus. It raises all kinds of concerns and fears and anxiety on the part of our citizens. We see it every day in their faces and in the store shelves that are empty. People are afraid. And whenever people are afraid, they usually consider sources outside themselves for comfort. And one of the ones that we always turn to is the 23rd Psalm. Because it says words of comfort. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And he says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, because thou art with me. I would simply remind everyone that it's not the words of the psalm that bring comfort and peace and security. It is the shepherd that the psalm alludes to. And so I'd simply say, remember that. The shepherd is with you. That is my report, sir.
I hate going after him. I really do. But I do love him, so it's okay. But I was going to touch just briefly on that myself, not as eloquently as Dr. Modes here, but as a germaphobe, and I am, my family makes fun of me. I probably wash my hands more in a day than most people do in a week. I carry hand sanitizer in every vehicle, every pocket of everything I have, and it's 68%, Ms. Giles. So, but you know, I just do want. I want people to be practical, but I don't want people to panic. I do want you to practice your social distancing and wash your hands, as Ms. Giles says. I don't shake hands. You know, Tyler's like you got a fist bump, but Mr. Motes is right. You know, the coronavirus has the power to. I saw this today on social media. The coronavirus has the power to destroy us mentally before it even touches us physically, if we let it. So I would just, since I can't say it as eloquently as Dr. Motes, I would just say, let's have faith and not fear.
Amen.
And that would be all I've got from District 6. Choose faith over fear.
Yeah, I'm sitting at the wrong end of the table, because everything I want to talk about already been talked about. The only comment I would make in addition to the coronavirus, because that's certainly on the minds of everyone, is that, and this is, I've said this to some of my friends in the course of this week, and this is old Marion County tobacco farmer boy, country boy logic. If I truly believe that if 3,000 people died in China, where the population nears 3 billion, in a U.S. population of 300,000, with the robust healthcare system that we have, and with the added benefit of knowing it's coming, I have full confidence that the United States will have the ability to hold that virus back. And I don't believe, while I do know it poses risk, certainly, I don't believe that tens of thousands of U.S. citizens will die as a result of this virus. But I do believe that we all have to be cognizant of the fact that 40 to 50,000 U.S. citizens die every year from influenza type of illnesses, flu and those things. So that's certainly going to come into play this year too. But I agree that we not only need to have faith in God, but we need to have faith in our leaders, and we certainly need to have faith in our healthcare professionals and medical scientists. And I think that we will weather this storm. And I think in every aspect, whether it be healthcare or whether it be the financial downturn that's going to come with it, I think we'll come back like we always do as Americans. We'll be stronger than we ever were before. That's my report, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. I would just add that down through my years, you know, a lot of times government employees get a bad rap, and they talk about how incompetent we are and how we sometimes perceived to be lazy and a lot of other things. But when coronavirus and bad weather and floods and storms and everything else come, it's these guys like Derek and his people, firefighters, who are out there every day providing protection for us. And they don't have the luxury of going home. They have to stay there until the situation is taken care of. So we owe a big debt of gratitude. And we hope that you guys will stay safe. The fire, the police, law enforcement, everybody that's required to be out there. When we talk about leave, and you guys don't have leave, you just come to work every day and do that good job. And we know who does the work, and we do appreciate it. You don't go home at 5. Derek and I were talking outside before the meeting, and he said something about if you're in certain jobs, you can be a better father and a better family man, a better wife, because in certain jobs in the county, you don't know when you're going home at night. So I just say we appreciate you folks, appreciate it. And when we need a paramedic, you guys come. When we need a firefighter, you guys come. When we need somebody in law enforcement, you guys come. And we'll be forever grateful. And while we don't say a lot, maybe you don't make the money that you should, our hearts are filled with gratitude for the good job that you folks do, and we appreciate it. And if we make it through this virus, it'll be people like y'all that come to work every day and do a lot of things. It's good to have people, competent people in strategic positions. Mr. Manager,
Nothing for it.
Madam Attorney,
No, George County.
Clerk of Council,
No report, except that it's Theo's birthday today, and I'm wishing a happy birthday.
Well, what do you
Happy
know?
birthday to me.
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Theo. Happy birthday to you.
I won't tell you how old I am, but I will tell you I'm in the high-risk group for corona.
I know that's right.
Aren't we all?
And if he's in the high risk group, I don't know where that Christmas promotion is. This meeting is adjourned.